We're back with another lesson today. Welcome everyone. How are you today? Okay, so today, hello Nika, you're always the first one, dude. And Mikdad, hello. Hello Mikdad and Faisal. It's going good, Nika. No complaints here. How are you guys doing? Lynn and Facebook Akoak, hello. Bao, hello. Atala, I'm doing great. Just woke up like 40 minutes ago and now we're here, so life is pretty great. Salam, hello, and Minnie. Sao Win Lin. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna hurry and pin this to the top of the page and share it with a few people, okay? And then we shall begin. Okay, while we're waiting, if any of you guys know funny jokes, comment them down below. Ines, I'm doing great. Hamam, hello. Okay. Share now. Share the story. Okay. Share in a group. Share in the other group. Okay, this is so great, guys. Silas and Abdul, Ines, Haman, Abhay, Ali, Soe. I've been great, guys. Yesterday was a pretty great day. Omar, hello, and Riaz, I already said that. Ismail, Ubaymar, Omar. Yes, I'm wearing yellow today. Bunty, Soham, Yosef, Nika, thank you for sharing it. Yeah, everyone please take a second to hurry and share this video so we can get started with our lesson, because that would be so helpful for me. Yeah, that would be so great. So please help us out with that. Okay, let me hurry and pin this to the top of the page and then we shall begin. Okay, so today we're talking about subject-verb agreement, okay? So if you guys watched my video on the Hollow app yesterday, I did a live video there, and we talked about plural nouns. Okay, so nouns, a lot of the times, are the subject of the sentence, okay? They're what you're talking about. So whether it be a person, you're saying, he went to the store, okay? So he would be the subject, because he's the one that's doing the action, or the verb, okay? So again, verbs are the action words. Sorry, I will speak a little louder. Can you guys all hear me clearly? I will try speaking a little louder, but because it is morning, I'm gonna try and not be too loud. Okay, so again, verbs are the action words. They're what you're doing, and then nouns are, and then the subject is usually a noun. It's what you're talking about, okay? So what we are going to do is we're going to try and get the subject and the verb to agree together, okay? Because there are certain subject-verb pairs that are correct and that are not correct in sentences, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some rules that you guys need to follow when trying to figure out what verb and what subject you should use when you're writing sentences or when you're speaking, okay? So this is very useful for having a good grammar when you're speaking and when you're writing. So pay attention to this. Okay. So does that help you guys? Okay. And then at the end we can talk to people and quiz them, okay? My voice is clear, okay. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Okay? So, the first big thing that we need to learn, okay? And if you guys are writing stuff down, I'm gonna pause so you guys can write it down, okay? Because writing stuff down will really help you to be able to remember it. I'm gonna move this down just a tiny bit so I can... There we go, now I'm like face to face with you guys. Okay, I will speak a little louder. Sorry, I know it is kind of quiet. Okay, number one thing is that if the subject is singular, meaning that there is only one subject, the verb must also be in a singular form. Okay? If the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. Okay? And then vice versa, or it goes the same either way. So if the verb is plural, the subject must also be plural. So if there are more than one subject, if there are more than one people or places or things, then there must also have a plural verb for that, okay? So singular verbs, so here I wrote it down. Actually, we got to, okay. So see, singular verbs are is, was, has, does, and also verbs that end in s or es. Okay, so don't get confused, because yesterday in my class we talked about how you need to add an s or an es to make something plural, but if we're talking about a verb, it's different. Okay, so if you add an s or an es to a verb, it makes it singular. Okay, so it's a singular verb. Well, this is like totally messing me up because it's mirrored. Okay, so singular verb. I'm actually just going to keep it this way for the rest of the time. Okay, and then plural verbs are, were, have, do, and verbs that don't end in s or es. Okay, so I'm just take a picture of that so you guys can pay attention to this, because as we're going throughout the lesson, this will be very useful for you guys, okay? Well, we can make it lighter. Should I make it lighter? Yeah, maybe I'll keep it lighter. That's cool, guys. Okay. So, and then we're gonna be talking about, okay, Louis, we'll get to your comment in a second. Okay. Okay, so let's practice this. So did everyone get a picture of this that they wanted to? Or write it down if you wanted to? Okay, so we are going to erase it now. Okay, so again, if the subject is plural, then you need to have a plural verb. If the subject is singular, you need to have a singular verb, okay? And we just went over the difference between those two. And another thing you need to realize is anytime you have the pronoun you must use the plural form, okay? So even if I'm just talking about you as in one person, you still must treat it as if it's plural, okay? So again, you must use the plural verbs, which is are, were, have, do, or verbs without the s or es ending, okay? Nazmul, happy you can make it here. Hero App Maker, hello. Mokim, Bashir, Sharifullah. Hello, everyone. Okay, so again, anytime you have the pronoun you as the subject, so if I'm talking about you, it must have the plural form. Okay, so again, the plural verbs are, were, have, do, or verbs that don't end in s or es, okay? So I would say you are awesome, okay? Because are is a plural verb. Okay, I will try and speak a little bit louder, but some of my roommates are asleep right now, so I don't want to yell. Okay. So I hope that made sense. This is so weird. I feel like, yeah. Okay. So again, subjects and verbs must agree in number. Okay, so we're going to do a practice sentence. Okay. The dog growls when he is angry. Okay? The dog growls when he is angry. So I just want you to I want you to find the subject and the verb. Okay? So who can tell me what is the subject in this sentence? So what is the thing that we are talking about? And then what is the verb? So what is the subject doing? Okay? Can anyone tell me the answer? What is the subject and what is the verb? And I know that the comments are delayed a little bit, so I will wait until we see some comments, okay? Bashar, Faiz, Brian, Abrahim, Mary. Thank you, guys. Faiz says, I can speak English frequently. What will be the best way for me improving it? Just keep practicing, man. You can always speak it pretty good. Okay, so what? Okay, so Pike or Peach or Pitch says the dog is the subject, okay? Perfect. So the dog, we will do it in red. The dog is the subject. Okay, so we were talking about the dog. Okay, so what is the dog doing? So what is the verb? So we got the subject. The subject is dog, but what is the verb? Can anyone tell me what that is? Verb is growls. Perfect, Nazmul. So we'll use this. Okay, so the dog growls. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So the dog, that means that there's only one dog. So this is a singular subject, okay? And see, notice how the verb is growls. Okay, notice the S at the end. So if you guys go back to when I was showing you the singular verbs, we talked about how it's also verbs that end in S or ES. So in this case, we have an E or an S verb. It ends in an S. So that means that this is a singular verb, so it's correct, okay? So now let's try and make this plural. Okay? So if we wanted to make it plural, and we wanted to say dogs, what would we do with growls? Okay, would we keep it the same? That's a hint, we wouldn't keep it the same. So what would we do to growls? So how do we make this sentence correct? The dog growls when he is angry. Okay, that doesn't sound right. So how do we make it so it's a plural sentence? Because we're talking about multiple dogs now. Okay, so how do we make the rest of the sentence plural? Erase the S. Perfect. Okay, there are a couple other things that we need to do. Okay, so we got growl. The dogs growl. But what about down here? What do we need to do with this part? Does anyone know? Okay, so this is right. This is right. The dogs growl. Again, because this is a plural subject, and this is a plural verb. But now what do we do down here? Okay, because we're not just talking about one dog, so we can't say he. They. Perfect. So we'd say they. They are angry. Perfect, Mike Garcia. The dogs growl when they are angry. Does this make sense, everyone? Good job for those of you who commented. You guys did great. Okay, so now we are going to move on. Let me see. Okay, so now we're going to talk about collective nouns. Okay, so a collective noun are nouns, again, person, place, or thing, such as a crowd or a herd, okay, that refer to a collection of multiple people or multiple places or multiple things, and it usually acts as a single entity, okay? So when you talk about a crowd, you're usually just talking about one crowd, okay? The crowd as a whole, it's just one crowd. So this is a collective noun. And again, you may want to use the plural verbs because a crowd includes a lot of people, but when we're talking about collective nouns, you're talking about it as one thing, okay? So we are going to use a singular verb when we're talking about collective nouns, okay? Okay. So here is an example, and I want you to see so this is wrong, okay? So I want you to tell me what is wrong with the sentence. Okay. So there's something wrong with the sentence, and I want you to tell me what. The crowd are getting impatient. Okay? Sorry, I'm going to put this lid back on. The crowd are getting impatient. What is wrong with this sentence? So, Happy Man, we are talking about subject-verb agreement, okay? So I will identify the subject and the verb for you guys. So, subject is the one with the S, and verb is the one with the V. Okay? So this is the subject, and this is the verb. So what is wrong? Because again, we just talked about collective nouns. Are is wrong. Yes, Nazmul, it should be is. Because again, crowd, even though it's includes multiple people, it is still acts as a singular verb. So you're going to use is instead. The crowd is getting impatient. Okay? So just be aware of that. So if you're talking about a crowd or a group or audience or or a herd. So a herd is like a pack of animals, is a group of animals. So does that make sense? Crowd, again, acts as a singular subject. And then verb, you need to also make singular. Okay. So let's see. Another one. Okay, so another thing that we need to be aware of is interruptive prepositional phrases. Okay, so these are phrases, phrases that come between a noun and a verb. You don't want to get confused about them. Okay, so I'm going to read you a sentence. Actually, I'll write it up so you guys can see it. Okay. The manner in which you spoke to those people and then this is wrong again. You may want to put are disrespectful, and I'll show you why. Wow, I can't. Disrespectful. Full. Okay, so look at this. Who's taking a shower? My roommate. The manner in which you spoke to those people are disrespectful. So again, this is wrong. It should not be are. And I'll show you guys why you might think this. Okay, so look. The manner in which you spoke to those people are disrespectful. Okay? So I'll point out the prepositional phrase. So here's a prepositional phrase. In which you spoke to those people. Okay? Okay, so in which you spoke to those people is a prepositional phrase. So it's the phrase that comes between the manner and are disrespectful. So that is a prepositional phrase. So you guys may think that people may be the subject, and so you would want to do are, because people is a plural subject, which means the verb must also be plural, which is are, okay? So if you're just talking about people are disrespectful, then that would be correct. But the real subject in the sentence, and you really need to watch out for this because it is pretty tricky. So the subject in the sentence is actually manner, the manner, okay? Okay, so this is actually the subject, manner. Okay, so manner is just singular. It's just one manner. So because of that, all the way down here, this verb also needs to be singular, so it needs to be is. Okay? So just be aware of that, because in some sentences, there may be a prepositional phrase that may throw you off. Okay? You may think that in this sentence, people is a subject, but it's not. We are talking about manner. Okay? So then the verb needs to be is, because if you were to take out all of this stuff and just, okay, so let me underline this. So if this is tricky, then I suggest just blocking out the prepositional phrase. Okay, so we're just going to read the sentence without the prepositional phrase. The manner is disrespectful. So if you're ever looking at a long sentence and you don't know how to match the subject and the verb, just cover the prepositional phrase and then just read the subject and the verb sentence. And that will help you to understand what you need to put as your verb, okay? So the manner is disrespectful. That is correct. Okay? Okay. So moving on. I hope this makes sense. If you guys have any questions, then just ask. Is a collective noun used only with singular verbs? Yes. So with collective nouns, you use singular verbs. Okay? But just be aware of what collective nouns are, because people is not a collective noun. The word people is not a collective noun, okay? But crowd and classroom, okay, crowd and herd are both collective nouns, okay? Okay. Hello, Ahmed and Adam. Okay. So now we're going to talk about summation plurals. Summation plurals. So this doesn't happen very often, but a summation plural is a word that is plural, that sounds like it's plural, but it's actually just talking about one thing. Okay? So like scissors. Okay? So scissors, things that you cut with, that's a summation plural because the word itself has an S at the end of it. So it sounds like it's plural word, but it's actually just talking about one pair of scissors. Okay? So scissors is just one object, but it has an S at the end. And then also like eyeglasses, it's just one pair of glasses, but you say eyeglasses. Okay? It ends in an S. Okay, so the thing you need to realize with this is that with summation plurals, you still treat it as a plural subject, okay? So if we're talking about scissors, we would treat that as a plural subject, even though we're only talking about one pair of scissors, but because it ends in an S, we still treat it as if it's a plural verb or a plural noun, okay? So here's an example. The scissors is in the top drawer. The scissors is in the top drawer. Okay, so something's wrong with the sentence. What you should say is the scissors are in the top drawer. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the S or the is, and we're going to say are. These scissors are in the top drawer, okay? And this is because we treat scissors as more than one thing, as a plural, okay? And that's just because it ends in an S, okay? We may only be talking about one pair of scissors, but because it ends in an S, we're still treating it as a plural subject, okay? So, and that is why we would say are. The scissors are in the top drawer. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, okay, so now we're going to talk about neither and either and subjects with nor and or, okay? Neither and either and subjects with nor and or. Okay, so neither and either, that just means that we are talking about two different subjects, and the words represent one thing at a time, okay? So, which means that it's going to be singular. So if you use neither or either, that means it's talking about one thing at a time. So that means we would be using a singular verb. Okay, so I will give an example. Okay. Okay, let me hurry and think about this. Okay. Neither and I'm using neither in red so you guys really understand what we're talking about, okay? Neither were very good. Okay? Neither were very good. Okay? So this is wrong. And do you want to know why? So neither acts as a singular verb. Okay? Because usually we're talking about one thing at a time. We're comparing two different entities or two different subjects or two different nouns. Okay? So neither, meaning one at a time, so that would be a singular subject. Neither were very good. Okay? But pay attention to this. Were is a plural verb, okay, which is wrong. So what do we want to write instead? Neither were very good is wrong. So instead we want to do neither was very good. Neither was very good. Okay? Because those are both singular. Here is another example. Okay. Neither John nor Mary was, okay, let me hear and think, was at school today. Okay? Neither John nor Mary was at school today. Okay? So was at, again, is singular because we're talking about John and Mary. Okay? Okay. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone? Neither John nor Mary was at school today. So neither is going to be showing us that we are talking about two different entities. Neither John nor Mary. Okay, so nor in this case is separating John and Mary as two different singular people. Okay, so because we're talking about that, we're saying John nor Mary, then that means we would use a singular verb. Okay, but if you're just to do John and Mary, if you're to erase that and put and, John and Mary, then we would say John and Mary were at school today because we are combining John and Mary, making it plural, okay? So both John and Mary were not at school today. But because we're saying John nor Mary, then we'd say was, okay? Neither John nor Mary was at school today. Okay. And also another thing that you need to realize is that whenever you say each or one, those are always singular, okay? Which makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to do little practices, okay? So I want you to tell me what is the correct verb we would use in the sentence, okay? Okay, so where blank my textbooks. Okay, where blank my textbooks. So would it be are? Or would it be is? Okay, so fill in the blank. Okay. Yes, Nazmul, I am a man. Okay. So who can tell me do I fill in the blank? Do I say where is my textbooks? Or do I say where are my textbooks? Nazmul, not quite. Okay. Mary, you are correct. Where are my textbooks? Okay. Are. Perfect, Nazmul. And do you want to know why? It's because textbooks is a subject and it's plural because we're talking about more than one textbook. So we would use the plural verb, which is are. Okay? So where are my textbooks? Okay? Where are my textbooks? Okay. Great job, everyone. And again, it's are because that's a plural verb and we're talking about textbooks, which is more than one textbook, okay? Okay, this one's a little bit longer, so just bear with me while I hurry and write this down. Nazmul didn't notice the S. Okay, so that's okay. Diet and exercise. Just need to be able to spell. Dang it. exercise blank keys to good health. Okay, diet and exercise blank keys to good health. So what do you do, is or are? Okay, so pay attention to the and. Diet and exercise blank keys to good health. So would you do diet and exercise is keys to good health? Or would you do diet and exercise are keys to good health? Okay, so notice the and I abbreviated. This is the shortened way to write and in English. So if you just write that, that is the same thing as writing out and. Okay, are, perfect everyone, because we're combining diet and exercise, making it the plural, or making the subject plural, okay, because we're talking about two different things. Perfect, guys. Great job. Diet and exercise are keys to good health. Okay?
You don't happen to have a 3x5 card, do you?
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do one more and then I gotta get ready for school, okay?
My test is today, and I want to take it.
Okay. Last one. Okay. All of the milk
Man, I feel like today in history is just useless.
blank now on the floor. Okay, all of the milk blank now on the floor. Okay. All of the milk is now on the floor, or all of the milk are now on the floor. Okay. Haley nor Tessa will come live today. Dude, I'm live right now. Okay. Which one? Is it all of the milk is now on the floor, or all of the milk are now on the floor? Hamza, you're not quite. Ikra, you're correct. And Benjamin, it is. Okay. Okay, is. So this is because all, so this word here is acting as a collective pronoun. Okay. So again, all is acting as one thing. So it's a singular subject. Okay. I'm not Patricia, guys. Today I'm just Haley. Okay, but you guys did great. I gotta get ready for class now, but it was so great being able to talk to you guys. I hope this lesson helped. I will post my notes later today so you guys can practice and study this, because this is very useful to know, especially if you're taking the IELTS or the TOEFL test. This will be very useful to know. Anyways, thank you all for watching the video, and I will post the notes later. Please share this video, and please tell your friends about the Holo app, because that will help you so much. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.